Before we get this show started today, I want to give a quick heads up. Unfortunately, the audio of the interview is not as good as I wanted it to be. I'm not necessarily sure what happened. Before we got the interview started, we had everything well in place to have really great sound. But unfortunately, things happen. It is our first video interview. So what I would say is if you are listening just to it as a podcast, I would turn your headphones down just a little bit because when Missy talks, you'll hear some pops in the audio, and I want to make sure your ears don't get hurt. With that said, let's get this show started.
I need you to trust me and Missy Carroll because we are novices. What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 22 of Trust Me, I'm a Novice. I'm your host, Sammi Ledger, and this is the podcast about connections. We are talking science, psychology, spirituality, and about ourselves. If you are only listening today, we are actually having our first video interview with the queen of content herself, Missy Carroll. Oh, she's here. She's back. For those of you that do not know Missy Carroll,
thank you.
We're about to have a great conversation about everything White Sox fan based. So trust me, trust yourself, trust Missy Carroll, and trust the process because we are getting things started. Missy, how are you today?
I am fantastic, as always.
Love it. Love it. To give Missy an introduction, if you're not familiar with her, Missy was on the podcast previously where we got to sit down and break down bipolar disorder as well as Missy's TikTok fame amongst many other social media platforms. But to break things down a little bit more and to make sure I give Missy the title that she without a doubt deserves, Missy Carroll is a well-known content creator, especially when it comes to TikTok. Missy's personal TikTok account has almost 800,000 followers and 11.1 million likes. She more recently, which we're here to talk about today, began a second TikTok account that has already over 4,000 followers called SouthSide Behavior. This account, in addition to having 1,500 Twitter followers, is all about White Sox baseball, and more specifically, the fans. Missy, how are you?
Doing great. Living life. The White Sox game got postponed again today. Kind of sad about that. Other than that, fantastic. We're hanging in there.
We're hanging in there. The White Sox got postponed, so Missy was nice enough to come and talk to me. Oh my God.
Of course. I love you, Sam.
Yes.
Don't even fret.
Oh, thank you. I'm very excited for what's coming up on the show today. I think it's going to be a great show. Like I said, we're breaking all things White Sox down and TikTok, so stay tuned.
We're breaking down the talks, Sox talk, Queen of Sox talk, shotgunning, Daddy sees, baseball. We're talking about it all today. We're gonna get down and dirty with the White Sox.
We're sliding into the dirt. Alrighty, that being said, alright, well, let's get things started. Missy is wearing a Tim Anderson jersey, TA number 7, with a Sox hat on to match the whole getup. Because, like I said before, Missy very recently has started her own White Sox baseball fan account, and it's taking off so quickly. I think it's been so much fun. Missy and I had the opportunity to go to a game the other day together, and we filmed some fun TikToks as well as had a good time at the game. So that being said, I am getting ahead of myself. So Missy, first off, you're famous on regular TikTok. You're famous as just yourself, I guess. You weren't running anything at the time. So you have your own personal platform that goes viral multiple times, gains followers. What made you want to start a second platform on multiple forms of social media?
Actually, can I take a hot minute?
Yes, you can.
Okay. I'm gonna get more water.
We are waiting for Missy to come back at the moment, but we are on a good break. I think the show is going... Oh, she's back! Oh, gosh, I manifested that so quickly.
Oh, no, not my camera. Hold on.
A random boy, rolled their eyes as they heard manifest.
Manifest.
You know, guys are about the word manifest.
Manifest these nuts. All right.
like I said before, what made you decide to make another account in addition to your personal one that was already quite successful?
Well, Sammy, let me tell you where it all started. Last summer, actually, I was posting on my main account, just me and the squad hitting up White Sox games, which we went to so many because I don't know, we all like White Sox and we all like going to the games. And so we like went a bunch of times, and obviously I'd film for TikTok and I would post it on there. And one day I got a comment that summed it all up, and someone was like, "Y'all are doing this on a Tuesday night?" And I was like, "Is that not common? Do you guys not bull like this?" And so I kind of got the idea planted in my head, like, what if I make like an account for this? Because what I've always wanted to do is be in sports media of some sort. And I always said if I was ever in sports media, it'd be for the White Sox. Like, I've been a lifelong fan in the most like sincere way. And like I'm like, that's what I want to do. And then once I started seeing people be like, "Oh my God, I want to go to a White Sox game now. This looks so fun." And people, obviously, a big part of my main TikTok is I'm from Chicago, from Southside Chicago. And I always show what my friends are up to, what we do. People just find it really unique. And the people who live around here grew up in the Southside Chicago, like, feel like comfort and entertainment because they're like classic. Like they get it. So it's like on one end it's entertaining because it's never been seen before type stuff, and on the other end it's entertaining because it's relatable to some people that live in Chicago. And so the idea at the end of the season, I was like, I kind of want to start my own account dedicated to me and my friends going to White Sox games and about Southside Chicago. That's where it mainly came from, but it was the end of the season. So I started kind of like, I kept it in the back of my mind, and I'm like, well, starting in 2022, I'm gonna try and make this like a reality. And I have to burp. I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
I think I suppressed it. Okay. So basically I registered for classes for the spring semester at U of I, and I found this sports fandom class. It was reimagining sports fandom. It literally was like fate that brought me to this class, because the point of the class is you have to make a fan site, fan accounts, make it a brand, like stuff like that. I love when people on there like brand, and I'm like, I kind of had to say that.
Supposed to be a brand.
Yeah,
the thing is, it could become a brand.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? Leave it. I don't know how else to explain this. So that's where that came from. But it pushed me to actually make this a reality and gave me guidance to like get this up and running and what I need to do to keep it running, because I know how to make content. I just needed to know how to maintain like an account, the purpose of the brand and the account and stuff like that. And who better to guide me than my mother flippin' teacher who is from the South Side and a huge White Sox fan. Like, so I kind of was like, this is fate, and I need to start it.
Seems like it.
But to me, it's more than a project, 100%. Like, it's gonna be here for a while.
I think so too. Well, especially with the traction. When Missy first started, so actually, first off, how long has the account been going on? It's been, what, 2 months, I want to say?
Since end of February.
Oh, it's been more than 2 months, my bad.
Last week, February, first week of March.
Okay, so it's been going on for a bit.
Almost 2 months, I think.
Oh no, so, I was going to say, it seemed like, I feel like time's starting to fly, but to gain, especially in TikTok, gain 4,000 followers in that period of time, Like, that's very good. And especially because you're gaining White Sox fans. I venture to say it's not a lot of your other followers that are transferring. It's people that are White Sox fans that are finding your account either on Twitter or on TikTok or wherever. Oh, you have an Instagram account too. And people are finding it and then following you and staying up to date, which is really neat.
Yeah, it's so cool. So when I first started it, I promised myself I wanted to kind of prove to myself that I can start a brand from the ground up without the interference of my main account that has 800,000 followers. I didn't want that. I wanted me to build it and get followers and get to the niche crowd that I wanted to get to. Yeah. And I did that, and like, Jesus Christ, I have a stuffy. I am falling apart in this. Oh my God, I'm fine.
Okay, showbiz, baby, showbiz.
But that was exactly what happened, and I just kept for a long time, for like 2 weeks. I was posting to no one but myself, and I focused on TikTok because I knew how the algorithm worked. I knew how hashtags worked on there, like how to push your videos and stuff. And so I was just making all this trendy content and stuff. And then, one after one, my TikTok started taking off. And then from there, fun story, I got started on Twitter. And it just kept expanding from then. Like, TikTok. And the reason I also did TikTok, reason number 2, it's overpopulated by Cubs fans. Listen, I'm not a Cubs hater. I'm coming on record. I know I got into some Cubs hate controversy. I'm here on the record to say that I don't hate the Cubs. I just like to mess with them because then they get annoyed and then hate us. And I think that's a beautiful cycle, okay? And so when I got on there, I started just doing some digs at some Cubs fans, which then attracted a lot of other baseball teams because they're like, we don't like the Cubs. And then also attracted all the Sox followers. They're like, finally an account of someone from Chicago that's not a Cubs fan. And I'm like, welcome all. I got like Dodgers fans on there, Red Sox, Brewers, Cardinals.
Yeah.
Even a few Cubs fans who have the same philosophy as me. Yeah. And so that, I grew it that way. And then I guess you can go and I can pick up where we go after that because it's been a wild ride.
I love that. That's so funny. Well, and honestly, it gets me thinking about the other day, something that I thought was really cool. One thing that every single person that makes, honestly, I would say past content, anyone that makes art struggles with any type of trolls, like we've talked about, and anybody that is unfamiliar with the term troll, it is just anybody that usually from an account that has like absolutely no posts and it's just a simple picture. Usually the name is like numbers and then the name user, like it has no name, and they just go in and comment negative things on people's stuff. And what I think is crazy is, especially on TikTok is the type of app, I know we talked about this yesterday, where it's a community-based app. So usually you like things and view things and comment on things that you enjoy, thus the algorithm goes, all right, and shows you more of that. So whenever I see people that are trolls, I always laugh really hard because I'm like, you went out of your way to find something that you didn't like. And I was laughing the other day and I was thinking like, you know what? Could these people do my taxes? Because like I don't want to do them and I need someone so dedicated to something that they don't like. I feel like it could be like a win-win situation.
Roasted.
Trolls, do your taxes. Anyways, though, with that being said, you've had an experience like that clearly with trolls over the years. And what I think is neat, and you have been doing, especially recently, although I'm sure you've done it in the past, is taking, for instance, a TikTok comment of a troll and putting it up on the screen and making a new TikTok off of it, which in turn is gaining more popularity for you.
Specialty. It is one of my specialties.
Right? Making gold out of dirt, honestly.
Yeah, like I said, I've gained a thick skin from committing to this for 2 years as my main thing I'm doing in my life, what I'm gonna pursue. And I've gained some thick skin from it because I've gotten everything about how I look to stuff I do and stuff like I've gotten everything that you can imagine. Luckily on my main account, it's like 85% girls. Like that's my demographic.
Always helps.
And usually they're really nice. The amount of boys on there are like Sims, probably. I don't know. I don't know where they are, but it's just like a girl time on there. And that's like what my content centers around.
Yeah.
I'm 75% male on SouthSide Behavior. Now going into this, I've seen women in sports. Players, reporters, and I've seen everything that they say about these, and I get very mad when they say it about other women, because I'm like, knock it off. Like, you're stop being like a little insecure, intimidated boy, okay? Like, we don't just go to bed. I don't know. And so I like always hated that. And so when I started this, I go, all right, Missy, you're gonna get a lot of those comments.
Yeah, you're kind of prepped for it in a way, which I think makes it easier to deal with, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
You have to deal with it,
but what's crazy is at first, it was all love. It was like, oh my God, finally a White Sox page, like all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, let's go, baby. Follow me. I'm building an army. And I was like, it's great. Recently, I have been getting two types of comments, and they are either asking for my hand in marriage, which whatever, and then the other half are telling me that I'm ugly, fat, I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm quote cringe because I don't know what I'm talking about, go back to the kitchen.
Oh, God.
And the funny part is none of them have profiles, like with faces.
Exactly.
When they do, oh baby, it gives me a great opportunity to go in on them. But when they don't, I don't know. I just use it as content either way.
Yeah.
I am notably good at just not caring. Like people are always like, don't pay attention to them. Like you're just egging them on by responding. And I go, no, you don't get it. Because one, if you don't respond, it kind of like not everyone has to respond, but I respond so I could roast their ass. But also I also respond because I'm not gonna sit there and then be like, haha, she didn't say anything. I win because I want to roast them, to reiterate. And then two, if I respond in like videos and stuff, I get more engagement. I get like hundreds of more followers because people are like, damn straight, like go in on it. And I'm like, yeah, I'll just and trust me, back to my Cubs controversy. Be sorry, Cubs fans. I was making a joke, and I got the most absolutely vile comments, like terrible comments.
Jeez.
And it's just crazy. And you know what? There are a few girl creators on TikTok that also like baseball. I look at the prettier they are, the worse the comments are. So I'm like mid. Come on, I'm mid. I accept it. I
disagree.
I've got a lot of hands in marriages, but that's only because I like shotgun and stuff. They're like, I don't know, they just like my personality, which is all I care about. But I see like when there's like really beautiful girls on TikTok posting about how they love baseball and like first baseball game at the stadium, the comments are so much more vile. It's like it was like my outfits. There's this one girl who I love, who she's beautiful, and she like posted a TikTok and she's like, going to my first Red Sox game, being a resident here, and like pictures didn't disappoint, something like that. And the comments were actually they did disappoint and be like, no, I'm very disappointed.
Oh.
Being like, shut the fuck up. Like, you don't know anything. You, like, there was one where they're like, pick a team, pick a MLB team, because she likes a lot of teams. And
Yeah.
I commented, and I was like, girl, keep it up. Like, we need more people like you on here.
Yeah.
All these little boys are just intimidated and insecure.
Precisely.
I even got a comment that was like, you're worse and not as pretty as her. And I'm like, this is why women don't say they're fans of baseball. Because we can't even breathe, you know?
Yeah.
That's a huge reason why I started it. And I know they say that stuff because they're insecure and they're intimidated. And so I'm like, I got the upper hand. Might as well just go in on them.
Exactly.
That's how I look at trolling and stuff. I'm like, no, I'm gonna lean into it and
it's a good mindset.
Get above it, you know? Like,
definitely. Well, and I think that's such a good point. I think that's such a good point that it's so unfortunate that is the climate. I mean, I've noticed it from such a young age. First off, I think with broadcasting, I've noticed it in my own household, but that whenever there's a male person on television, like nobody very often is the first comment about his appearance. And I even noticed my brain will do it too. That's the thing. Like when it comes to like certain ways or like upbringings or stereotypes that we have in our bodies, it's like it's in everybody, unfortunately. And I noticed, I'll see a girl on TV and right away, for some reason, once in a while, my brain will be like, oh, like thinking about what she's wearing or how she looks. And the problem is that transfers in every other platform far past television, where people look at a woman as if the primary thing she has to offer is her appearance, which obviously it's messed up. And obviously everybody is clearly beautiful in their own skin, and especially when you embrace who you are. But I do feel bad, like you said, now girls pushing into sports. First off, what is with this gatekeeping around everything? Right? Like, and you know what I think it is?
You know what I think?
Yeah.
You know what I gotta say is why, you know, going into like, I could tell you like what the brand is about too if we want to get into that. But the one thing that I've studied in that class is MLB has the worst the worst amount of Gen Z specifically fan base. Like they don't have a lot of people that are like even casual fans.
Interesting.
And it's like, maybe that's because, I don't know, you're cutting off like half of Gen Zers that are women because you're gatekeeping the sport and don't like appreciate that they just
don't
like
play.
And then the other part is you're cutting off like Gen Z by being like, sorry guys, I'm so sorry. I write about it on my blog, but being like, do you even remember the 2005 World Series? And I'm like, I don't kind of remember that, boomer. I'm kidding. I don't know if you would be mad, but
good point.
As a joke, I'm saying that as a joke, but I'm like,
exactly.
I'm young, but if you want more Gen Z crowds, don't gatekeep it against women, and don't gatekeep it against the younger generations.
Right? Yeah.
Like you can become a fan at any age, but.
Exactly. You know what it makes me think about? Do you remember? I remember when there was like a lot of backlash or not a lot of backlash, but I remember that situation with AOC where one of the other senators had called her a bitch, and she got up and her response to me was phenomenal because she sat and said, thank you for doing this because you have daughters and now you have okayed this for every other man that interacts to treat your daughters the same way. And I think that's what people miss in those situations, that, like you said, when you're cutting out Gen Z kids or things like that, if I have a little kid, I damn right want my kid to be a baseball fan. I want to bring them. I want them to be excited. So why am I going to shut down? Hey, why would you shut down more fans? That's just like, where do you win? And then past that, like you're going to shut it down for your sisters and your hopefully future wife, you know, and just friends that are female in general. It's just like, it blows my mind that people genuinely think like that. And it's from a place of insecurity and intimidation.
Yeah.
A lot of it is like, I guess when people think they know a lot about things, it feeds into their identity. So then it's connected to their confidence and their sense of self-worth. So they're afraid that somehow they'll lose that sense if people add on to it. But that's like, digging into psych. But it is wild to consider.
Well, no, that's a good point to raise, because this reimagining sports fandom class goes into the economic part of like fandom in any sport, the sociology, and the psychology of like fandom. So it covers all bases, and kind of the project too is to like, which I'm glad I'm doing all of this for this like White Sox account, because it gives me a better understanding of the psychology of how to get fans and how to inspire people, and the sociology, economic psychology. Like I said, it's the fact that I don't know how to explain it. Just basically, when you take a deeper look at fandom, I did that for the White Sox. So part of my project is, the first place I started, I said, all right, I'm trying to fix Gen Z and women, also anyone else that, is not really a fan. I want to help inspire them too, to show them how to be a good fan. So what's the problem with the White Sox? Why can't they, what can they do to get more Gen Z involved? And then personally, I'm like looking around and thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't think we have that big of a problem as much as a lot of other teams. I'm like, I love baseball. My friends love baseball, even if they're just casual fans of the sport. A lot of mostly girls. I go like with all my girls to games. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I don't get what the problem is here. And so that's where I turned into this brand. I turned it into an opportunity for us to inspire other teams, because we already are like a very lively and passionate fan base, but it's kind of not even on the map. People don't really know about it. Like I said,
it's like if you're not in it, you don't know about it sometimes.
Yeah, like there's a ton of like Cubs creators and but like going in Chicago, I would say there's a lot of them, but White Sox here all the time, irrelevant. I'm like, we're not irrelevant. We just are like low key. We don't have like a lot of White Sox creators.
Yeah,
we
it's
don't
a chill
talk a lot about it.
Right? Well, and I think about what I thought was really cool is, I remember right before you created your account, you would put out a survey that was like a lot of different questions to White Sox fans, and it was, which I liked, and I remember you asking like, what comes to mind when you think about Chicago White Sox, and especially the fan base, the community, like what attracts you towards it. And a lot of your responses, and you can comment more on this, but I remember I specifically wrote like work hard, play hard kind of energy. A lot of it I feel like is rooted in the way Chicago is, in the sense of like hard work, but also the Midwest in a sense of always usually being polite though, and conversationalists, and looking to have a good time. And I think especially even just the first game we went to, everybody that we bumped into at the tailgate was so nice. Like they were so excited for what we were doing, even if they didn't know your account.
Exactly. And shout out to the people that did know my account. Someone got a video of me. I would like to see that and review the play, because I know I was looking like a mess going into the stadium. But yeah, like the thing I love about the White Sox fan base is, no matter if you're a casual fan or a very avid fan, or just like come around not very often, but still are like, no, I'm a Sox fan, it's still a community. Like you never, when you ask someone, are you a White Sox fan, you never say like, oh, how much? Oh, you're a White Sox fan? 5 players. We're not, I feel like I've never experienced something like that with the White Sox. Like the Cubs, they're so adamant that you have to know everything. Like that's just from my personal experience. I don't, I'm generalizing from that experience. Yeah. So what I like about the White Sox is it's just, everyone's like, oh, you guys just like to get together and drink. You don't care about the team. And I'm like, no, I think the fun thing about the White Sox is that we all get together, and a lot of us like to drink, but
Yeah,
we're
it's really
drinking
close.
because we're celebrating a great team
Yeah.
that we all have in common.
And we're
Win or lose,
socializing.
we're still excited for the team and watch them play.
Yeah.
Everyone likes to watch baseball games, I feel like, down here, and
Mhm.
it's not boring to us. I think that's
Yeah.
because the whole community makes it a fun time. And that's
Exactly.
something I've
Yes.
learned. That's something I've learned through White Sox Twitter, which I should get into that too. But it's just
Yes.
kind of like a nice community, and even though we fight with each other, which I try to stay on, I try to be peaceful. I only have one controversy so far. We're done with it. But even so on there, yeah, it's kind of like a family. Not to get too
Yeah.
sad, we're all emotionally distant people.
No, but I think it is though.
But we fight with each other, but at the end of the day, we're all in it for the same thing. It's because we're all like very passionate about the White Sox,
Mhm.
and it doesn't matter if you're a casual fan or not. You're a baseball fan. You like baseball. You know?
Yes.
That's how I've
I love that. Well said.
What's the word? I've pulled a lot of our friends to the dark side, meaning the good side, just by bringing them to games and them being like, this is really fun, and rooting for the White Sox is really fun and super cool. Everyone's, we're kind of gritty people, so we're very blunt sometimes, but in a nice way, and it's just a crazy unique culture that is not talked about enough.
No,
and
it's not.
That's why I started pretty much it, because I'm like, if more people knew about us, they might look at the baseball fandom in a different way, because some people like us celebrate in a different way. And love baseball in a different way, if that makes sense. I might be rambling, but I'm just really I ramble a lot about it because I'm so passionate about it. And before I took off, on Twitter especially, on White Sox Twitter, shout out. Before I took off, I went to I was at a friend's house and I met these two new people, and they found out my TikTok, and then I told them about SouthSide Behavior, and I rambled on about it for had to be 45 minutes. And by the end of it, they're like, we want to be White Sox fans. Like, this sounds fun. And I was like,
I love
because
that.
I'm so passionate about it, and I'm so passionate about like bringing anyone into baseball, especially the White Sox. That it's like, be your fan your own way, but at the end of the day, like, be part of the community. I don't know. I just ramble on a lot about it.
No, I think
I'm very passionate about this.
I think that's very well said. Speaking of what you were saying earlier, you said you wanted to dig into Twitter. Let's talk about Twitter.
Fantastic story. I hope people that are on White Sox Twitter actually watch this. Shout out. Because I didn't really pry on Twitter because I felt like it was so hard to even take off on Twitter.
It's an interesting platform.
Yes, and it's so hard to get people over to Twitter sometimes that don't really use it. So I would post periodically on there, but no one would really see anything. I just was doing it, for the project. And so I posted a TikTok. I wrote down his name. I posted a TikTok, and it was just like me being the dad of the group trying to get everyone to the Sox game alive. That was
you're on the train handing people stuff.
Yeah, and I'm giving everyone beers and train tickets. And so so someone comments and goes, are you a part of White Sox Twitter? Because if you're not, you should be. And I commented back, I don't it's hard to take off on there, so I have one, but I don't use it. And he goes, I'll get you followers. What's the handle? And I gave him the handle, and 10 minutes later, I get tagged, and I look on there, and I'm starting to get his at everyone go follow, is at capital D for dough, capital B OI, capital SVO. Doughboy Spo. I don't know if that's kind of how you pronounce it. Follow his at, coolest guy ever. he shouted me out, and then I posted, I was like, well, people probably don't know what this is about, so let me just post one of the hectic videos that attracted people to SouthSide Behavior. They're like, oh, this is how SouthSide rolls. I'm like, yeah, our group. And so I posted that, and it just took off, and then people started quoting it, or quote tweeting it, and being like, hey, yo, go follow her and stuff. And what turned into us being like, oh, well, he's like, we'll get you like 300 followers today, turned into 900 followers in one day. And I was like, what the?
I didn't even know it was that fast. That was like a week, I remember, at least.
No, in one goddamn day. These people move fast. And so, but it was just like, oh my God, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Yeah,
and work hard, but White Sox fans work harder.
But the White Sox fans work harder. That is the energy, literally. But I literally, like, it just all happened so fast, and then I'm like, oh shoot, now I gotta kind of like figure out how to tell them what this is.
Who I am.
So I slowly but surely started to like be like, okay, I'm Missy. I run this account. I'm the only one that does. CEO, founder, and president of SouthSide Behavior. And I'm like, so basically I'm going to games and interviewing people. I was trying to get people the vibes of it. And then when we're not there, I like to make memes. And yeah, people have stuck around. People like it. It's just wild. Now I feel like people now know that I'm pretty much the only one that runs it. By pretty much, I mean I am.
I know. I always say we, but trust me, I'm a novice, and it's just me running everything.
Oh, I know. I always say my favorite bit to do on that account is to say, come join or like follow us on TikTok. And by us, everyone that knows me knows no one else runs this. You guys just come along on my missions to go to games and stuff because you guys want to go. And
we're not running anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one else is running it. Or I'll be like, we are excited to announce, and it's like me. Like, I'm like, it's my favorite bit. And it's also on my main account on TikTok. My favorite bit for that is someone will approach me with a brand deal, and I'll be like, let me talk to my team and forward it to them, and I'll get back to you. I have no team. It's just me. I have no manager.
Let me talk to myself.
Yeah, I'm like, let me forward it to my team. I forward it to like my school email. I'm like, sounds good. I'm like,
put on my glasses, change my shirt, look at it, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Gosh. Oh, well, I feel like, yeah, it's so neat to see how it's taken off. I definitely think it has a lot of star power, a long way to go. I guess while we're on the same page of the White Sox, which players are you currently a big fan of?
Obviously, Tim Anderson. Well, let me say one. Let me go in order of what I need to talk about. You already know Dylan Cease.
Oof.
That man. Oh my God. Not to be a total girl about sports. You can't. Even all of like our friends that are guys are like, he's got a gnarly stash. Like,
goddamn.
I love him. The second one, which maybe we could talk about this, is a huge reason why I started this and the philosophy behind all this. Tim Anderson. He had the notorious bat flip in 2019. The pandemic just messed me up. And it caused, like so much controversy and Tim Anderson kind of pushed forward from that point on, saying like, why can't we just have fun? I hit a good ball. He even said in the TA7, he's like, it was a good hit. I just like threw the bat, and then next thing I know, everyone's mad at me. And he's just like, why, if you want more people to be attracted to baseball, stop taking it all so seriously. Stop, like, you know, I'm generalizing what he's saying, but he's like, let's have a little fun. Let's be, you know, make it lively, make it passionate. This is a game for the fans. So like, let's stop, you know, being, you know, up our own asses. So so that like inspired me when I started this, because I'm like, yeah, if I'm gonna start inspiring like fan bases, or, you know, documenting and making entertainment out of our own fan base, I want to showcase the baseball fun part of it, you know. So I do like to, you know, talk about the players and stuff like that, but I mainly like to make funny and fun entertainment on it, because you know, I think there's a lot of people out there that do a lot of hot takes right about each game. You don't have the little clown in the White Sox fan base. I'll be the clown. Probably someone else, but I would like to be the entertainment, and not even talk about the team, but talk about our fans, because
that's such a good point.
So Tim Anderson
talks about the fans.
100%, and he's even the one who, when they were making the City Connect, he was the one working with Nike and being like, I want this to be real to the fans. Like, he's like all about, we need to be playing for the fans and stuff like that. And when he saw this jersey, he was like, that's it. Like, there's a good quote that he says, but he's like, when people see it, they're going to be like, yeah, that makes sense. It's like real. It's authentic. It's relatable. The people from the South Side will get it. They'll understand why our jerseys look this way. And then, and a lot of people, and a lot of people in the MLB are like, those are some great uniforms. Like,
they got really well received. Outside White Sox jerseys,
Other people in Chicago, not so much. They say some harsh things about it, which I don't want to get into, because it's just, I've already talked about it before on like my blog and stuff. But it's like, when people say stuff like that, it's like, then you don't get it. You don't get what we're about.
The fans that get it.
Exactly. If you know, you know type situation. So Tim Anderson, big inspo for the whole.
Shout out. Man. Well, it's crazy too, because I think it goes without saying, I think the reason TikTok's really especially blown up, because it's found a way to showcase what's really going on in everybody's life. I mean, people that we see success with a lot of new, like, celebrities that have been popular, but now they're like twice as popular. I think about somebody like in the music community, like Russ, Logic, like they've all been using the platform a lot, and now they're gaining even more traction because you see their personalities. But back to baseball, like you said, that's neat, and it makes a lot of sense that Tim Anderson spearheaded that, because the White Sox TikTok page has gotten I think it's fantastic. I think whoever runs it should get a raise.
I get all of my memes from their videos.
And for anybody that doesn't follow the White Sox on TikTok, and I'm sure their TikToks do get reposted to other platforms, basically they do like a lot of fun stuff.
Real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I gotta turn off an alarm. Sorry, guys.
Oh, you're fine.
Go. All right, you talk about it for a second. Sorry.
Long story short, the White Sox TikTok page is really, really funny, because whoever runs it basically will pick just one sporadic question and just go through and have all the players answer it. And it could be anything from like, what's your favorite food? What's your go-to song for karaoke? Or one that interacts with the players. Like, I saw the more recent one was, who would be your emergency contact on the team? And so you have all of the players are walking past, reading it, like they're kind of squinting, and then answering.
Ooh, that's my favorite. Oh, God, sorry.
You see that one? Yeah, Missy's back. Yeah, and where they react to it, but like.
Oh my God, that's my favorite one, because Tim Anderson has the best quote that I use on Twitter, and they were like, "Who's your emergency contact?" And he goes, "Me. Why would I call anyone else? Me." And he walks away, and I use that on Twitter so much. I'm like, quote, who the hell runs this account? And then I'm like, I'm like, I tag myself, my personal account, and I'm like, me. Why would I call anybody else? It's me.
Oh my god.
I love their
I
TikTok
love
so much.
I love it. Yeah. Again, whoever's running it, absolute shout out to you. You know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's been so good and so crazy now to think it's like you get their TikTok that's doing really well, and now we have you who's running a whole new fan base, and it gets me really excited. I think for the future of even just what the summer is going to look like. I mean, we've already talked about going to more and more games, which will get sillier and sillier, but it'll be really cool moving forward to see like if we gain even more traction within the fandom and what more will come of it. Because hey, if the more you very well if you keep gaining traction like this, and you in a way can already do it really, but you can plan something and have people come.
Yeah.
And then everyone meets each other. It's like a little social. Yeah.
I always say like, hey, if you ever see me at a game, come up to me. I would love to like record you. Like, I wanna. I know the brand. We're just gonna go with that from now on. It centers around like our group. But that's just like the basis of it, because we gotta start with some fans.
You need a team.
Yeah, you need like a team. So I assembled our team, but in the like long run, our team's gonna still be part of it, but I want us to like try and get other people and showcase like other fans and stuff like that. So I'm always like, if you see me, come grab a brew and can I interview you and stuff like that. So I mean, it's really, I just want to inspire people, especially the younger generation, and especially women, because I am both of those. So when they look at me, they kind of are like, yeah, okay, I guess I could be one of those too, you know?
Yeah.
But also I've inspired like just like a lot of like other like teams, being like the Dodgers, the Red Sox, the Brewers, and the Cardinals are some of the like main ones that comment and are like, hey, if you're ever in the area, like we'd love to have you.
Those comments, they're like, yo, I would love to hang out. I think that's so sweet.
Yeah, so they follow because they're like, our fan bases are like, we can relate to each other and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, yeah, if we all kind of join together, and I mean, when we play each other, you know, my I can't do anything about what I say then, but like in general, like the fan culture
during the game.
Yeah, I'm like, we'll leave that on the field, but I'm like, it maybe make them more lively and see what we do and be like more pumped for their team in baseball, stuff like that. We feed off each other. So I'm like, and we got to put the White Sox fans on the map, baby.
Yeah, we do.
And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to put our fan base on the map. And like I said, I want to, I know, like broken record, I want to inspire people, and I want to entertain people from the South Side of Chicago, because it's like looking in a mirror and you're like, haha, we all do that. And I also want to document how crazy awesome and diverse the South Side is. And I want to do all that and just basically, I lost my train of thought because I am so hungry.
You're good. I know, we've been going for a while. This is the most
chaotic I've been in an interview. But basically, I want to take all of that and I want to put us on the map, and I want people to know who we are and to enjoy us and to see that we're a very unique culture, and just like come along for the ride, like whoever you are. And I've already got a bunch of people being like, I want to go to Sox games now. I definitely would like to. I might be a Sox fan now, and like I've never really been like into baseball, but I sure as hell want to be into it now. And I'm like, even if you turn into a casual fan, you're still a fan. You're still welcome. Obviously, I'm an avid fan. Which, fun fact, some statistics here: only 8% of women in the United States consider themselves avid fans of baseball. 50% of Gen Z consider themselves not a fan at all of baseball. About like 30% say they're a casual fan, and then like about like 10 or so percent, a little bit above, say that they're an avid fan. So yeah, it's crazy. So I'm like, we need to step it up.
We do.
And
Step up to the plate. We got to get more people doing that.
love baseball. I could talk about this for hours because I am just so passionate, and there's a lot I want to do with this brand. And like I said, I'm gonna do like everything in my power to document and show everyone how crazy awesome we are in our community. And I want to basically just like I don't even know how to explain it, but I basically want people to be just bring some life and passion back into the MLB a little bit.
That's a great way to say it. Bring some life and passion back into the MLB. Missy Carroll, you heard it here first. I think if you have nothing, do you have anything else to add before we wrap?
Just to all White Sox fans watching this, or to people skeptical about baseball, no, I'll get to you later. People that are White Sox fans, all I need you to do is just be yourselves, and I'll take care of the rest of it. That's my mission with this. I'm willing to work really hard. I'm willing to work with anyone who wants to help me out and has any opportunities that we can be a part of. I just need all of the fans to just be who they are, and like I said, I'll take care of the rest. If you're a skeptical fan, just try and go to a game or try and watch a game with other people sometime, and you might end up liking it a lot. And all I think you should do is just give it a chance. And
I love that.
That's probably it.
I love that. Missy, where can people follow you? We already said it earlier, but as we're coming to a close.
All right, I got two accounts for you this time. So my TikTok is Missy.Carroll, Instagram Missy.Carroll, Twitter is Messy Carroll. That's 2 R's, 2 L's, and all of it. And TikTok is SouthSide Behavior, all lowercase. Instagram, SouthSide Behavior, all lowercase. Twitter is at capital S, capital B, Behavior. And YouTube, just SouthSide Behavior. And there's a video coming out about the opening day today. So it'll be out by the time this airs. Yeah.
Awesome. Dang, that's great to hear. Amazing. I would say for everybody listening, I plug it a lot. But if you are new here, hi, welcome. Again, I'm Sammi. Feel free to follow the Trust Me, I'm a Novice account. We are on Instagram. I'm not as crazy as Missy is. I say that in a good way, with having all the platforms covered, but I am not as ambitious at the moment. But yes, follow on Instagram at Trust Me, I'm a Novice. If you want to follow my TikTok, it's at Sammi_Saint. But I do a lot of different stuff on TikTok. That being said, Missy, it was an absolute pleasure for you to come in today. I like that we hit a ton of different Chicago topics. I mean, what a better time to talk to than the springtime as baseball is back.
What I'm saying, and sorry I rambled through a lot of it.
God, never.
I have ADHD, and I just took my Adderall, so.
Okay, all right. Well, this has been a great episode. What I will say is feel free to tune in the following week. I think I'm recording this right now. Me and Missy and I just made two videos. We covered 2 different topics, but we talked for a long time. So I think I'm going to split this into 2 episodes. That being said, if you are tuning in, come back next week for part 2 of my conversation with Missy Carroll. And in the meantime, Missy, feel free to say it if you know what I'm going for.
I'm Missy Carroll, and trust me, I'm a novice.
Boom! Hey!